Hello everyone, welcome back to Senegalese Twisted. Today I'm back again with another review for Maîtresse d'un homme marié, and today I'm going to talk about episode 22. The episode starts with Biram calling Mansoura and Salif, and he's saying that Sheikh is at a seminar and that he's gone, that Biram is now the person in charge, and first things first, from today on he doesn't want to see any informal clothing and everyone has to come in suit and tie. But Salif is like, Biram, excuse me Mansoura, but Biram, are you crazy? Do you even respect me? Did you call me for this BS? He gets a bit mad and then he leaves. When he leaves, Mansoura tells Biram that power suits him so well. However, Biram expresses that he needs her help, but that now he needs to go because he needs to apologize to someone. Amsa. And Mansoura is shocked because she's like, apologize? You? And he's like, why? And she's like, oh, nothing. Next we see Tahirou 2.0 and he's with a colleague, and the colleague is actually talking to him, startling him because Tahirou 2.0 is deep in thought. But his colleague is just telling him that, you know, they're waiting outside, I'll call them for you. Then the mother and the child of a few episodes ago actually comes in. Tahirou asks the son if he's ready for tomorrow. He's also trying to reassure the mom, telling her that inshallah everything will go well. The mom tells him that she heard that he is the best, but of course she has to say that this is my only son, my only child. Then Tahirou says something that I don't understand why he actually said this, but he said that the operation of tomorrow is a riskless operation, that he's just going to perform it, her son will go home, it will seem as if nothing happened. And as he said that, I was like, is this even like legal to say? Then we see that Salif is talking with a man that we don't know, but the man is expressing interest in the apartments offered by Aquanic. Salif then explains that, you know, he came to work with Senegindia for a reason, that their last project really convinced him. He also says that he knew that the man would love the Aquanic apartments. The man tells Salif that, you know what, if you're ready, we can actually go and see a notary. And Salif asks him for a little bit more time because he needs to take care of some administrative things at Senegindia. And the man tells him that, you know what, in the meantime, I will then do some touristic things here in Dakar. Then we see who Biram actually had to apologize to, which was Amsa. And he's telling Amsa to actually put a smile on her face and to stop being grumpy and mad, and that he has a surprise for her. But of course we all know Amsa, and she is not just going with him. She's like, you know what, Biram, I don't know what you're up to, but I'm not just going with you. And then he insists, he takes responsibility, and he says that it was his fault and that he promised to be there, but he wasn't. Then she's like, you know what, Biram, I'll come with you, but if you stay too long, I will leave you there because I have other things to do. Then we see that Salif is at the same place, but with the other guy that was supposed to do the audit. And the guy is telling Salif that he did the audit, but there is 15 million sefa missing. And 15 million sefa is about $27,000. Salif then explains that before he, you know, took on this business venture with Senegindia, he asked that Senegindia and Aquanic would have two separate bank accounts. However, he would still have the power to look into both bank statements. Then Salif says something that actually shocked me because he's like, you know what, you need to balance out both accounts, especially the checking accounts. The guy's like, so if I understand you correctly, you want me to falsify bank statements? You know they have official stamps, right? And then Salif says in Wolof, not only do I want you to do that, I want everything to be balanced out neatly and well. If you remember correctly, Biram was very convinced. And you know he has a big mouth, but he's not a liar. I want to know who is behind this. And I think that you and I can come to an agreement. So write down any amount you want, and he gives him like a blank check and he can just write it down. Then we're back with Tahirou 2.0, and he's again with the same colleague. They are drinking, and Tahirou is explaining to him that it has not been easy on him, and that Mrs. Dalanda has been blaming him for everything, and it has been hard since the baby died. He says that, you know, he tried to let it go and let God, but she doesn't seem to understand. And his friend is like, you know what, you know how it is with women. It has always been like this, but you know, you are the one who needs to manage. And then Tahirou 2.0 is like, you know what hurts me the most is that she is pitting the children against me. One of the twins, every time I try to talk to her or when I say something, she acts out. She never did that before. The friend is like, it's normal, she acts like this. She lost her brother, you know, everything is a chaos, but you need to manage. And then Tahirou 2.0 is like, I will manage, inshallah. Then we are back with Amsa and Biram, and Biram tells her to smile again. And he's just, you know, telling her that, you know, I promised you that we would get into business over a nice meal. Meaning that this is the moment. Then he starts to ask her questions about her project, and he asks her if she already has a space. She doesn't, and he asks her, so okay, so what is your plan? Amsa asks him for recommendations. He tells her that it all depends on what she wants to offer to her clients. He's also saying that once she has established what she wants to offer to her clients, then they can look into a communication strategy to get more brand awareness. Then he advises her to do after work events, but also to organize fashion shows so that she can work along with stylists and that he can actually introduce her to some. He also asks her, like, why do you want to open a beauty salon? And she's like, yeah, because I want to gain financial independence. And of course, this is something that Biram supports. He even says, yeah, because you should not be trusting these men. And Amsa's like, if you say that, I believe you. But of course, Biram is like, why are people so prejudgmental about me? And she's like, who? He explains that, you know, even Djalika has, you know, prejudgments. I know that, you know, we are in a good place right now, but I still feel like it's not 100%. And Amsa asks him about, so you still have feelings for Djalika? And Biram plays like kind of hard to get, and he's like, yeah, why? You know, Djalika, she's the mother of my children. There is still something between us. Amsa's like, sure. I'm sure she will tell you how she will feel about it when you talk to her. Also, since when are you afraid? And of course, Biram has to be like the macho man, because he's like, afraid? Do you know me as someone who is afraid? Do you want to test it? Then we see that Mustafa actually has dreadlocks, and he is singing by the water, and he's with a friend, and they just talk about his music. And Mustafa is telling the man that, you know what, I have to wait in order to go on with my music, because yes, we are out of prison. However, there's still the baby that needs to be born, and I can only continue with my music once I know that the baby is here alive and everything is well. And he also explains how Raki was actually, you know, pushed or hit while she was pregnant, and that is the reason why he is so worried. Then we're back with Amsa and Biram, and they're at another restaurant, and Amsa is asking Biram, you know, do you think that an investor is interested in a little entrepreneur, small entrepreneur with a little budget like me? And Biram tells her that, you know what, in business there is no such thing as a small investment. He explains that the woman they are about to meet is someone who actually left everything, came to Africa to build something up. Then Amsa asks him like, okay, so what do you think about, you know, how I look? And he's like, what do you think, that this is a costing? But then he does say that, you know, she did a good job and she looks presentable. And of course Amsa cannot let it go, because she's like, Biram, you are mean. Can't you just say I look beautiful, I look good? And then he has to, you know, even increase it, because he's like, you are hot. Then the woman joins them, and her name is actually Aminata. And this whole scene with this woman was just an ad for her business, because she is legit telling Amsa at the table that she should subscribe to her YouTube channel. I can't. Mam Binta asks Yolande if she thinks that their mom is really going to put their dad in prison. They go back and forth because both of them are trying to figure out whether or not their mom is going to do it, but eventually they come to the conclusion that they both don't have an idea. However, they do know that when their mother says something, that she is probably definitely going to do it. And Yolande also knows that if their mom really wants to put their dad in prison, she wants to not have anything to do with her mom anymore and live with her dad. Then they ask their auntie Ben to help them to talk with their mom and see what is up. But this time Ben is like, well, this time your dad really did something bad. If you girls want, we can talk to her, the three of us, but before we do so, you guys have to go back, finish your plates, I will wash off, and we'll talk to her. Then we are back with Dalanda and Tahirou 2.0, and Dalanda is telling him that he forgot something when he came to pick up his clothes. Tahirou 2.0 tells her that tomorrow I have a very important operation. Can we do this another time? But of course Dalanda doesn't want to have anything to do with that, and she presents him the paper. She's like, I have the proof that you married someone else while you were married to me, and we signed monogamy. And she presents him with a choice. Do you want me to file for adultery or bigamy? Tahirou 2.0 is like, what are you going to do with it? I don't recognize you, Da. But of course Da is like, I am not your Da anymore. I told you that I would ruin you, and trust me, I will. You will go to prison. Tahirou 2.0 is like, please don't do it. Now you know that I can ruin you at any time. If you don't vanish from my life, and if you care about your career and your reputation, I advise you to never see me again. That was it for episode 22 of Maîtresse d'un homme marié. And like I said before, it is too much about Dalanda, Tahirou 2.0. I want to see other things and more bigger things happening. I really want to know if Mamy is still in the show, because now it feels like she is not. But we may find out next week. I want to thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in my next review.